Well, happening right now is something you probably don't want to hear about on a Monday morning, although you probably already know it. Gas prices are going up big time. In fact, more than 20 cents in just the last month here in New Mexico. So now that we are past Labor Day and what they call the summer driving season, we all want to know if and when those prices will be going down finally. News 13's David Romero is live in Northwest Albuquerque. So, David, are you the bearer of good or bad news this morning?
It might be bad news for right now, Matt, and that's because when it comes to those high gas prices, a new Rasmussen poll that's just come out shows that 68% of Americans are paying more for gas now than they were 6 months ago, and that could likely continue for a while. According to a recent Lundberg survey, gas prices are approaching their all-time high for the year. The average U.S. price for a gallon of gasoline has jumped about 8 cents over the past 2 weeks. The top reason for the boost? Hurricane Isaac. It's been more than a week since the hurricane hit the Gulf region, which caused power outages and refineries to close. Now, according to the Lundberg survey, a slight rise in crude oil is also to blame. However, there could be some relief for your wallet. Some refineries that shut down for the storm are now reopening. And the fact that the summer driving season is finally coming to a close is also going to help. That generally winds down now in September, and that could help the prices come down as well. Matt, back to you.
All right, certainly hope they go down soon. Thank you for the heads up, David. Now, according to the survey, drivers in Chicago are paying the most for gas, while drivers a little south of us in El Paso have the lowest fares. Now, as for right here in New Mexico, the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded is $3.62. In Albuquerque, it's a little bit less than that at $3.58. I found it online this morning. It's cheap at $3.45 at one Valero. And in Santa Fe, drivers there are spending about $3.65 a gallon. Well, today is your chance to hear from Albuquerque Public Schools leaders about what could become a big problem for the district: overcrowding at La Cueva High School. Superintendent Winston Brooks and others will be talking about this tonight from 6 to 8 at La Cueva's Performing Arts Center. They also want to hear what you have to say about this. Right now, all the schools that send kids to La Cueva High are getting more crowded, and it is something the district is taking a very good look at. Well, the two candidates fighting for Albuquerque's seat in the U.S. House are back on the campaign trail this morning after a big debate yesterday. Republican Janice Arnold Jones and Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham were in front of hundreds of people here at the Congregation Albert Synagogue. The two talked about a number of issues, including immigration, jobs, and the economy, and that's where things got a little bit testy.
Let's remember how we got in this financial crisis to start with. So we have two very costly wars. We have unprecedented tax breaks for the wealthiest of Americans.
I suspect that this mom is going to advocate for bigger government and larger debt.
Political analysts say Lujan Grisham is ahead of Arnold Jones, both in the polls and in fundraising. And in the race for New Mexico's open seat in the U.S. Senate, the latest polls show Democrat Martin Heinrich is leading Republican Heather Wilson. The Albuquerque Journal released the poll yesterday, and of people who will probably vote, 49% say they'll vote for Heinrich and 42% for Wilson. 8% are undecided right now. Even though Ms. Wilson is behind, the polls show that she is still competitive and has a lot of support from traditional Republicans and independents. And this very same poll shows that New Mexico could be a battleground state in the presidential race after all. The Albuquerque Journal poll shows that President Barack Obama is slightly ahead right now with 45% of the vote compared to Mitt Romney's 40%. 7% of people back Libertarian candidate and former Governor Gary Johnson here. President Obama's campaign is more than doubling its presence here in New Mexico by opening up 7 new field offices this month. Mitt Romney's campaign has 8 offices in the state so far. Well, this morning, a few Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies have a new way of getting around to fight crime: mountain bikes. Right now, the bikes are on patrol in the South Valley. Sheriff's deputies say they can do a lot of things that cars can't. They can get to some calls very quickly and surprise a lot of criminals who don't expect to see a deputy roll up pedaling a bicycle.
We had one gentleman who's a local drug user here who told us that we're messing up his life because we had the drug dealers scared to come out here and sell to him.
Well, the deputies on bikes haven't even been on patrol for a week now, and they've already been busy arresting 10 people and giving out almost 30 tickets. The one man is sitting in jail right now after police say he and a buddy decided to steal cash from not one, but 2 coin machines here in Albuquerque. Investigators say this man, Michael Barella, and another man stole nearly $8,000 from the Coinstar machine at the Smiths on Lomas recently. Then a month later, police say the two went to the Smiths on Academy here in the Heights and tied the machine to the hitch of a truck and drove off with it. Police are finally able to arrest Barella this weekend. He's now in jail on a $50,000 cash-only bond. A memorial service is now being set for a soldier with family here in New Mexico. Staff Sergeant Jonathan Schmidt was killed on the 1st of this month when insurgents attacked his unit in Afghanistan. He was 28 years old. Mr. Schmidt's parents, Bill and Bernadette, are part of the New Mexico Patriot Guard Riders. They're going to have a memorial service this Saturday at 1:30 at Our Lady of Annunciation in northeast Albuquerque, and Schmidt will be buried later at Arlington National Cemetery.